Love Inspired and HarlequinAudio present An Unexpected Companion by Mindy Obenhaus, performed by Zoey Daniels. But the God of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, stablish, strengthen, settle you. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 10. For your glory, Lord. Chapter 1.
Do we have to spend the whole summer at the ranch?
Her son's query had Tessa Wagner tightening her grip on the steering wheel as she propelled her Ford Explorer down the 2-lane road the Tuesday after Memorial Day. Though Legacy Ranch was little more than an hour northwest of their home outside of Houston, her son Grayson's constant grousing had made today's trip seem much longer. With a fortifying breath, she turned on her blinker before addressing the 9-year-old.
But you always look forward to spending summers at the ranch.
It was one of the things she appreciated most about being a school teacher, the opportunity to escape everyday life and recharge, though this year they needed this respite more than ever. Since his father's passing 2 years ago, her once happy Grayson had become a brooding shell of his former self, and no amount of counseling seemed to help. Last fall he began acting out at school, picking fights and walking around with what seemed like the world's biggest chip on his shoulder. If she couldn't find a way to reach him soon, Tessa feared she might lose him forever.
But I won't get to play with my friends,
he whined as she approached the ranch entrance.
Strange, she hadn't heard him mention missing his friends before.
Only since spending this past weekend with his paternal grandparents.
I'll play with you, Grayson.
Leave it to Bryce, her perpetually positive 6-year-old, to try and lift his brother's spirits.
We can ride horses, go fishing, and... Whoa!
Maneuvering her vehicle over the cattle guard beneath the arched metal sign that welcomed them to Legacy Ranch, Tessa glimpsed Bryce's wide-eyed expression in the rearview mirror. Then she spotted the longhorns grazing in the lush green pasture. In shades of black, brown, dun, and white, some plain, others brindled or with spots, the cattle synonymous with Texas were always an impressive sight. One that was normally restricted to pastures along the back of the ranch while the Charolais were usually up here. Granted, Aunt Dee rotated her cattle, but Tessa had never seen the longhorns up here before. Another look in her rear-view mirror revealed Grayson's face pressed to the glass as he took in the spectacle. And if she wasn't mistaken, he wore a hint of a smile. That made her smile, because at this point, she'd take what she could get. Continuing along the winding gravel drive, she rolled down the windows, welcoming the late May warmth into the air-conditioned vehicle while propelling the SUV up a gentle rise. Within moments, the fragrance of fresh-cut hay, earth, and sunshine had the knots in her shoulder muscles loosening. Seemed the older she got, the more she appreciated the ranch. Not that 35 was old, but after all she'd been through since her husband Nick suffered a traumatic brain injury while serving in Afghanistan,
one that ultimately led to him taking his own life,
she sometimes felt as though she'd lived 1,000 lifetimes. But at Legacy Ranch, her burden didn't seem so heavy, though that could be because of her aunt. Dee Lynn Hunt never let life get her down. She simply rolled with the punches. Whether it was sacrificing her life as a rancher to move to the big city and raise 4 girls who'd lost their mother, or caring for her aging parents as their time on Earth grew short, Aunt Dee clung to her faith and kept her chin up. Bumping over another cattle guard, Tessa continued up the tree-lined path that led to the home where her father, grandfather, and great-grandmother had all been raised.
We're almost there, guys.
Anticipation pulsed through her veins. God, please let this summer make a difference in Grayson's life, in all our lives. When the 2-story colonial-style farmhouse came into view, Tessa was met with another surprise, one that had her jaw dropping as she rounded the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?